It's early in the morning on December the 17th of 2019. There is sporadic gunfire heard throughout the city of Jackson, Tennessee. The shooting would get too close to home for two separate households. On one side of town, a woman and her two children are awakened by gunfire that enters into their home. Luckily, nobody was injured. The same can't be said in another neighborhood. A woman and her six children are relaxing in the one place that a person should feel safe. Yet bullets would suddenly enter their home. No children were hit, but their mother, 47-year-old Charlene Albright, was hit by the gunfire. The police would find that these were not random acts of violence. The person or persons responsible for these acts of violence were breaking a code of the streets, retaliating not by shooting the street rival, but by attacking their family members. Police would find that the first residence attacked was the home of Dion Walker, where his girlfriend and her children resided. The second location was home to Dion's mother, Charlene, who would pass away from the violence. The word on the street was that Dion was the one responsible for shooting 26-year-old Shartavis Rollins just a few hours before these events. And someone was obviously out looking to settle the score. A close friend of the murdered Rollins is 22-year-old Aleriq Smith. The police go directly to the inner circle of those close to Rollins and seek answers about the gun violence of that night.
What's going on, man? Sergeant Brown, this is precinct. Let's get grooved. I want to talk to you, man. How old are you?
20.
20? Okay, so young. You go to school around here?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you go?
North side, high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, north side from 9th to 11th, and then Liberty my senior year.
So you graduated from Liberty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're not reading, writing, all that? I have to ask those questions. We have to ask that before we talk to anybody. You're not under the influence of any drugs, alcohol?
Yes, sir.
When was the last time you used drugs, alcohol?
I've been down there.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not trying to use that against you or anything like that. I'm just trying to say what's talking to you. You got your families around here and everything?
Not really. I got a mom here, a niece, a sister, stepdad, that's it.
Okay. Where are you from?
They from, my mom is from Indiana. But I was born here.
What part of Indiana?
Gary.
Okay.
From Michael Jackson from, isn't it?
Yep.
How do you say your first name?
Aleriq.
Aleriq?
Yep.
We were having a debate whether it was Aleriq or Aleriq.
It's like Al and Eric. Aleriq. Just,
Okay. Is that a family name?
Nah, my mom just like it.
You got kids, man?
Yes, sir.
How many you got?
2 little girls, 3
Two
months
little
and 4 months.
2 months and 4 months?
3 months and 4 months.
Busy man that month, aren't you? Busy man.
You bet your mamas get along?
Yeah, they don't really just know each other like that, though. One of them don't stay down here.
Oh, okay.
That's probably good. Not for the sake of your relationship with your kid, but just to keep
One of the reasons that I'm down there right now.
Yeah, and it's I'd rather you be home taking care of your kids, man, and in their lives than down here,
Yeah.
because they need their dad in their
Me too,
life.
and I ain't had it. So,
You didn't have that in your life. You're part of your dad.
nah.
And it's a missing piece in society right now, I believe, that's causing a lot of problems and adverse situations. So
And those first couple of years are really important just because, that's when the kid really starts to bond with the people around him. And if you ain't there, you kind of get viewed as, an
I've
outsider.
been thinking back there all night just seeing my little girls.
I mean, just like with you saw yesterday, the Kobe situation, him and his daughter passed away in that crash.
What color?
Kobe Bryant.
For real?
He died in a helicopter crash yesterday.
Dying for real?
Mm-hmm. Him and his daughter, his 13-year-old daughter. You've been locked up, so you probably.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, and it was, I think, a total of 9 people on the helicopter. Other families still affected by it, and I say that to say this, that just a father and a daughter there, that moment, feeling helpless with your the kid not being able to help them. You know, kind of the same situation with you because you're in here. You know, they have an issue with somebody, you know, with as much evil stuff that's going on in this world as far as abuse and neglect and everything else. So, I mean, you're no good to them in here. You know what I'm saying? You're not, you know. But I said all that to, you know, help you understand why we're here and why we're talking about it, the importance of it. We're not here with any tricks up our sleeves or anything like that. We're here to talk and be real. I'm not gonna beat around the bush, and you know, I expect you not to. You know, we're just gonna have a conversation. We don't do all the yelling, screaming, cursing, all this stuff, disrespecting. We don't do that. You know, all we ask for the same respect in return. Okay.
I can't respect.
Well,
All right. Before we ask any questions, we want you to understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and to have a lawyer present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before we question you if you wish one. If you wish to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop and answer any questions at any time. And then this waiver at the bottom just says that I have read or had read to me the statement of my rights shown above. I understand my rights. I'm willing to answer questions and to make a statement. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I understand and know what I am doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure of any kind has been used against me.
let's say we talk as long as you want to talk. You want to stop talking, we stop talking. Okay.
All right, you want us to do a sign off by the next, just saying that we read that to you and that you understand it. All right. So let's just start with what questions do you have?
What's this about?
Well, some stuff happened at Waffle House the other night. We want to talk to you a little bit about that, but we primarily want to talk to you about Sheriff Davis Rollins.
All right.
I think you know him as Tukey, maybe?
Yeah.
Close friend of yours, my brother, like a brother.
Sir.
How long you been knowing him?
About second grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, so that's really like y'all raised up together.
Yeah.
What's the age difference between y'all? Were y'all the same age?
Nah.
He was
Like 6, 7 years apart. 7 years.
This is one of the few times in this video I'm actually going to interrupt, but I need to make sure you didn't miss this. Shartavis is about 5 or 6 years older than Aleriq, and they met when he was in the 2nd grade. This is a textbook case of being raised by the streets. How does a 2nd grader hang out with somebody in middle school?
But you know, when you were in 2nd grade, and he would have probably been in middle school by the time.
Yep.
He kind of took you under his wing and took care of you. Or...
Yeah, we just was cool.
So how'd you feel about, you know, what happened to him?
Messed up. Because I was friends with both of them.
Really?
Yeah. With Dion too.
You seen her with Deion since then?
Mm-hmm.
Got any idea where he is?
Probably, people been saying Cincinnati and Nashville.
Okay.
I know he's got family in Cincinnati. You got any family in Nashville that you know of?
There's a lot of people that he messed with and all that type of stuff.
Putting him up.
Yeah. They got some money too, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Albright family?
The people here that he messed with. So.
Oh, okay. I get you. He was a pretty big weed man, right?
Yeah, all of them, that's what they do.
Right.
Like Dion, all the people he messed with.
I know he was serving quite a few people. I think that's why he was over at Trinity's house that night.
Well, I don't know how that, well, really, I don't know. Like, it don't even.
What do you think about Trinity in this whole situation?
Well, really, when I just met Trinity, I just she had a weird vibe. But like, I accepted her because I don't got nothing to do with that. That ain't my business, you know what I'm saying? I don't give people stuff like that. Even though I've been knowing him a long time, I ain't gonna get him none of his business like that, you know what I'm saying? Because I know, you can't tell. My mama always taught me that don't get in no relationship stuff. So.
But you kind of saw that from both sides since Dion used to go with her and Sharp
Yeah,
Davis.
but see, at the same time, I didn't know that for the longest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that until, I want to say, probably like a year or two ago.
I'll drop in and help you understand what's being said here real quick. There is this girl named Trinity. Bam, there she is. She is allegedly the baby mama of both Shartavis and Dion. This is what potentially caused the rift that led to Shartavis's murder, allegedly at the hands of Dion.
Okay.
How'd you find out about Shartavis? Like the night it happened, like
My baby mama, I was at her house asleep. We got kids by cousins, me and him.
okay. So your baby mama and his
My
baby mama are cousins?
His baby mama cousins.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not Trinity. That's the other baby mama.
Nah, the one that was just born a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I was at her house asleep, and I really was drunk, and she had tried to wake me up, but I ain't get up, and so they had went out there and came back. And then I ended up getting up by that time, and then she took me out there.
To the hospital.
To the hospital?
Yeah.
Dion, did what he did, and he's gonna pay the price for it. Okay. A lot of people, are upset about what he did. Rightly so. I understand that. Over on Lenore Street, where his mom lived, and that's where he laid his head sometimes too. She was shot.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah, and I don't think it was a intentional thing. It may have been intended for him. Was he armed during that time, or over there, or what? I don't know. But throughout this investigation, your name came up.
I know.
And,
I heard that on the street, but I ain't know legally. And
why do you think your name came up?
now this is why I know my name ain't anymore, because how close we is. But at the same time, I know I ain't do that.
Listen, I'm not saying anybody wanted to kill his mama.
No, I'm not even saying. I know that. I know what you're saying. I didn't do that. Period.
Okay.
And his cousin, one of the people, I think y'all know this. Like Chad, Gangsta Young.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Mm.
He came up to me, talking about he was gonna kill me at the club last weekend, sliding ride. Talking about something because he think I did it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I'm like, where this coming from? Where y'all getting this from?
There was people over there,
And, yeah. So I was like, whoever you get, they telling you that you can quit doing it. And he was like, I don't know, the reason I'm here with was to kill. I said, well, if you feel like that, you can do it now. I said, I ain't gonna lie to you in your face, but I'm gonna say, but if it was like that, I'm not like that, you feel me? I'm like, and I still wouldn't be out here like this. Come on now.
right?
So what? You say you were at your baby mama's house when you found out?
Yeah,
Where'd she stay at?
on Lincoln Street.
She stays on Lincoln.
Yeah,
You were drunk at her house
Yeah.
when she tried to wake you up.
yeah.
You finally got up. And
She
then-
came, well, she had went took her cousin to the hospital. She came back.
Okay.
Yeah, she came back
Where's your girl stay?
on Lincoln Street.
Okay. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Well, here's the thing, and this touches both cases. This touches, what happened on Lenore Street in Foxley, but it also, with Waffle House.
I may have been looking at my phone just a minute ago. I'm sorry to interrupt you. After you left the hospital, where'd you go?
I stayed up there. When I left the hospital, I went to court that morning. I had court that morning.
So what time did you leave the hospital?
About 6, 7. I got dropped off by
So what time did you get the call? Or what time did you go up there to the hospital? Dropping things in perspective. On like a timeline. And I'm not sure. I think it happened about what time was it?
I got up there about I got up there.
3 or 4?
She was killed a little after 4.
Nah, I was at the hospital at that time.
I'm saying
About 3 something 4. I was at the hospital.
Shartavis got killed at midnight.
midnight. Okay.
I was at the hospital about 3 or 4 though.
Until about 3 or 4?
I was there at 3
At 3 or 4. So
time
you
I
didn't
got
leave
there.
till the hospital till 6.
Yeah, I didn't leave the hospital till 6 something 7 o'clock because I had to be at court downtown. Like,
So you left there and went straight to court?
nah, I left there. I got dropped off at home with my mom. My mom took me to court.
What location is that?
The honeysuckle
Honeysuckle.
Yeah.
Okay. You leave Honeysuckle and then you go to.
court. After that, I went back to after I left court. I went back to the hospital.
So you didn't go over there to where his mom lives, anything like
No,
that at all?
that's it. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't bring no harm to them anyway. You feel me? Cause I done been over there. I ain't had no problem with him. I been chill with him plenty of times. All that.
Yeah.
Like been around. It ain't. I want to do it.
What would you say you were closer to Shartavis or to Dion?
Chartavius, but I'm not gonna get in the middle of that. That's baby mama drama and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't get in stuff like that. Cause I done been shot before. I don't want to get shot again. You know what I'm saying?
You got shot over in Honeysuckle, or shot at on Honeysuckle.
Yeah, I got
Did you get hit?
Yeah, twice.
I knew we had at least seen your name on that report. Well, you know, like I said,
So I want to know who pulled my name in this.
Well, it's a couple things, not just people. You know, you got people, of course, you know, word of mouth on the street saying and stuff. We also have other evidence as well that puts you over there. So before we got ahead of ourselves and did something not knowing the circumstance around, because knowing the type of person Dion is and knowing what Dion did just hours before this, we wanted to know what happened and how it happened. Because Dion obviously showed that he's a killer and he will kill and he will shoot. So there was a type of situation where, you know, shots were fired in a situation, it may be possible self-defense or whatever it may be. We wanted to talk to you ahead of time before, you know, we move forward on anything, because understanding is everything.
Yes, sir.
You know, things can look a certain way, but, you know, unless you get full understanding of it, you don't know. So, and I can't, you know, for the sake of the investigation, put everything out on the table right here in front of you. I can't do that, you know, because, you know, it's my job, I can't do that. But that's what the court process is for. And that's what, you know, when we talk to the DA ahead of time and explain things to them, that's what that's for. So, again, I don't think whoever went over there to confront Dion or whatever, I don't think that his mom was an intended target. So I don't look at this as like it's a cold-blooded attack where somebody goes and kills somebody's mom. I don't think of it like that.
And it was dumb anyway. It was dumb to go shoot up a house anyway. Cause my mama house didn't be inside of it, you feel me?
Right.
My niece be in there, my little girl be over there, all that. And him wasn't pulling my mama.
Right.
Like, that's the last thing I'd do to somebody.
I understand. So, what would you say to the fact that, you know, we can physically put you there on that scene during that time?
I wasn't there.
So you're saying you're at the hospital. And we know when you got to the hospital, we know what time you left the hospital. And like I said, some things aren't matching up. You know, I'm not calling you a liar or anything like that. I'm just saying some things aren't matching up.
I didn't go over there.
Where'd you go?
I didn't go over there. I promise you.
Or where did you go when you left the hospital?
It was my baby mama's house.
Which is where? I'm hearing you and I'm listening, but like I said, it's not adding up, you know. From what we got, you know, to, you know, we know when you left your house initially to come to the hospital. We know when you left the hospital to go over off East Chester. So I don't believe in coincidences. And, you know, if I don't, you know, the court surely won't as well. But it's a situation I believe it can be explained. It may be a hard thing, a hard step to explain it and getting over that hump, but it's something's gonna have to be explained. And it looks a whole lot better being explained on the front end than towards the end of the situation where you fight for excuses. So I'm not trying to put words in your mouth or anything like that. I'm just letting you know what we're looking at.
Okay.
And, go ahead.
What's your baby mama's name? Lives down the street.
Kishana.
Kishana.
Yes, sir.
And if we talk to Kishana, because she said that she'd tell us the same story.
Yes, sir.
how'd you get to the hospital that night? Did she drive you?
Yes, sir.
She drive you in her car or your car?
She don't got a car. She using her what's my name? And I don't got a car either. I don't got no license.
Okay. Well, that didn't stop anybody else from driving. That didn't stop many people from driving these days.
Nah, I got too much going on right now. I can't afford it.
Right.
That's why.
You on papers? You on probation?
With TCS, and I got another case going on.
What's your charge over there on that?
Driving.
Oh man.
And simple possession.
Okay.
And then I ain't get to get a lawyer because I got a case going on in circuit court.
What's that about?
I got caught with a firearm after I got shot.
You a felon?
No, you
Yeah.
But I know that I'm gonna be charged with that. I got a lawyer, but I know I'm still probably gonna get charged with it.
Not looking good.
Yeah.
Was that the case where you in the truck with somebody else that had some
Yeah, I was in the truck by myself.
at the gas station?
Nah, that day I passed out.
Okay. Yeah, the guy you were with got arrested out of that truck, right?
I was by myself.
Were you in a truck with somebody when they got arrested for some dope?
I ain't never been in no incident with nobody else. I always been by myself.
Maybe got my names mixed up. So what car did you go to the hospital in?
Silverado,
What color?
blue.
And it belongs to who?
That's her uncle's truck.
Her uncle's truck.
Yeah.
So on the camera that we have from the ER, we're gonna show that blue truck pulling up at 3 o'clock and you walking in the ER door.
I can't say it was 3 o'clock.
What time did you get to the hospital? You get where I'm coming from?
There's a very specific timeline of the events of that night that we are intimately familiar with. We know.
Yeah. I would much
I
rather.
don't know what time I got there.
The stage is about 6 or 7.
Yeah, I did.
So you get shot at midnight. You get up there 3 or 4 hours later.
Yeah. I ain't get up there when it happened.
Okay. Why not?
Because I was at her house asleep.
Okay.
So right after midnight, she gets a call from her cousin.
I don't know what time she got up there, but I know I was knocked out asleep. And
Well-
when I be like that, it ain't no waking me up.
Right. Well, obviously it was after midnight because he's already been shot. He got shot at midnight, right? So some point between midnight, sometime after midnight, Sharp Davis's baby mama, Kashanika's cousin,
Yeah.
gets a call and says, "Hey, bring me to the hospital." So she leaves 15 Lincoln Street, goes to pick her up. Where was she staying?
She stayed right there on Neff Street.
On Neff Street?
Neff Circle.
Okay.
But I don't know if she picked her up from my mama's house or at her house. I don't know which house she was at the night.
From your mama's house?
No, from her cousin mama's house. Her cousin mama stayed on Hackberry.
Through Hackberry? Where Sharp Davis was staying?
Nah, that's next door.
Okay.
She stayed next door. Her mom stayed next door.
Who would that have been over there on Hackberry?
That's Shartavia's baby mama. Keyshawn, real cousin.
Kim.
Yeah.
So if we talk to Kim, she's gonna say that she called Kashanika to get a ride to the hospital.
Yes, sir.
So Kashanika takes Kim to the hospital, drops her off,
Yes,
and then
sir.
comes back, tries to wake you up.
Yes, sir.
And then
She came back and got me after that. What time it was? I don't remember. But I know that she did. She said, I already took Kim up there. I'm like, nah, you ain't good. I did try to wake you up. I'm sorry. Went up there.
So you don't know what time you got to the hospital?
Were you still drunk when you went up there?
What were you wearing that night? You remember?
Nah.
Just so, I mean, we got 4 hours of video from the hospital.
I
Just
don't
trying to
know.
match you up to.
I don't remember. I ain't gonna lie.
You know, there's a lot of stuff out there, man. There's cameras everywhere.
I know.
There's cameras at Waffle House. There's cameras on the North.
But I'm gonna tell you, I ain't do that though.
If something can be explained, it looks a lot better if it's explained on the front end and not the back end. So,
I'm gonna tell you right here, no bull stuff.
Okay.
I didn't do that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
were you with somebody who did?
No, sir. I was not. I promise you I was.
Do you know who did it?
No, sir. I do not. It's a plenty of people that could really have done it, to tell you the truth. There's a lot of people who know.
But again, we're going to have to meet the DA, and we're going to have to present everything that we got to him.
So y'all trying to charge me with doing
That's
that?
That's what y'all. I'm just saying we're gonna present what we got to him, and he's gonna give us a recommendation on what we need to do. We need to go move forward on this. There's a lot of things these days that evidence-wise that we can use that couldn't use 20 years ago. So it's different world, different ball game. So
As in what about it?
just a lot of different ways of coming about evidence. In the world of investigations, I guess. But we'll
What's your phone number right now?
803.
Is that the same phone number you would have had the night that Charles Davis was killed? When did you get that phone number?
I got it in December.
The end of December?
Right in the middle. I had it then. I changed my number though.
Did you change your number?
Yup.
Why?
Would you change it? What was your old number?
I don't even remember the activation number. I got the I can get my mom to find it though.
What did it start with? Do you remember any part of it?
437. 437. I don't remember the end of it.
Okay.
Cause I had broke my phone. And then it would be private, so I changed it.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
But the phone we have your phone from CJC.
Yeah, I know. I said
Over there.
I got it.
And that's the 803 number.
Yes, sir.
So
I got that number a while though.
Why you change it?
I told you I be getting private calls.
Yeah, I get it.
Get paranoid.
Would you have changed that number before or after Shartavis was killed?
Nah, I changed it after, but I had it before.
mm-hmm.
Would you say it's the day after, or what would you say?
No, I went the day after. But I know Dion had my other number too though. So
What was
people been saying he said he gonna do this, do that, all that. So I don't know.
Why he coming at you? I don't know.
That's why I don't know. That's why I told you his cousin had came up to me on some killer stuff at the club.
Mhm.
And I was like, I ain't had nothing to do with that. I ain't do it. So you feel me?
so Chad and Dion are cousins?
Supposedly.
Really?
Yeah.
Like play cousins or like real cousins?
So I don't know. So I know they always, ever since I known both of them, you feel me?
So you said that Dion would have had your 437 number?
Yep, he did.
All right. You know what kind of phone that was that it would have been?
The phone that I had,
Yeah, that 437,
the same phone.
that one we have in there?
Yep. Nah, it ain't the same phone. It's on the same line though. Me and my baby mama was
Right, yeah, no. I feel that.
Yeah.
Do you have any other numbers associated with you?
Nah, I used to have a 394 number.
When was the last time you had the 394 number?
Shoot, really, probably don't know, but it's still getting paid because I don't know if my mama ever took it off her off her auto pay. So it was on when it was broke, but I ain't used it in a while, a long time. Probably since Thanksgiving, around that time.
One thing that I found strange is that Kashanika is talking to that 394 number the night that Shartavis was killed.
She was.
Mm-hmm. Are you sure you didn't have that phone that night?
I'll be honest,
Probably. I probably did have it still on, but that's the phone she broke.
But it's still working. I mean, the phone's still working.
Nah,
Because, well, I mean,
it can't be.
she's calling it. Whoever has that phone is calling her. Text messages. You know,
Yeah,
we got the phone records. Well, I'm not gonna lay this case out, but we got the phone records from that night.
yeah.
We got her phone records. We got your phone records. And your phone records are telling a different story than you're telling us. And that's as honest as I can be.
And what's the?
I mean, you understand how phones work, right? Like when you make a call, that phone hits off a very specific cell phone tower,
Yeah,
and your phone wasn't in Lincoln that night. Her phone was in Lincoln. She was at home or at the hospital. But the phone that she's calling and texting for, like, I want to say between calls and text messages of both ingoing and outgoing, there's over probably 80 exchanges. You call her, she calls you, you text, she texts. I mean, it's back and forth all night. So that phone was operational. And she's talking to somebody. And the phone's registered to you. So if you're telling me that phone was broken and it hadn't worked,
it is broke. I haven't
well,
worked.
it was working that night.
To get broke after that or something? I'm really making this easy for you, man. I can't make it any easier. Deion's a shithead for what he did. We know that. Before this lands on the lap of the DA, them looking at this, not knowing your side, I would rather hand it to him complete with all the sides on there, and take that chance and get that monkey off your back, because it's gonna haunt you. It's gonna come back and haunt you. And you got an opportunity right now to make it easy for yourself. You can write this story however you want to write it. You know, I prefer the truth. You know, at the end of the day, when we leave our body here, so I'll give you a minute to talk, man. Think about this, and we'll step back here in a minute, okay?
I ain't gotta go nowhere.
Well, I'm gonna step out for a minute.
Can I pee?
Yeah, come on.
There is a lot more to come in this interrogation, but for now, they all take a much needed break. So, let's take our first of two commercial breaks in this video. If you're still around and you're enjoying this video, take a quick second to push that like button. It's 100% free, and I will appreciate you for doing it.
I'm not gonna keep you too much longer, man. I'm talking to you about this. We know what we know, and what's his number?
394. Is that you?
Yeah.
Alright, well, that is the only phone in the city of Jackson that is on Foxley Cove, where Deion's girlfriend lives. You know,
I don't know.
you don't know her, but that's where he stays over on Foxley. So about the time of that shooting, your phone number's on that tower, and you're the only phone that's also on a tower that services Lenore Street a little after 4. I got the phone records. I got the subscriber information that comes back to you and only you.
That time of day, not a lot of cars on the street. Not a lot at all. So, you know, cameras all over the city. It's very easy to identify cars and know who's where. Just like I said, that time of day, not many cars out at all. No matter what part of town it is. So,
Especially that very distinct car.
yeah.
What car?
The same car you were in at Waffle House. That white car. That white Lucerne.
I went in on white Lucerne at Waffle House.
You're leaned up on it smoking.
When? Just to my the other day?
Mm-hmm.
When I just went to jail?
Mm-hmm.
No, I went. I got there in a red car. I went on a white car there.
All right.
I promise you I won.
That phone number is on those towers, and it comes back registered to you. And you've already told us that you were in Lincoln, and you were at the hospital. Foxley isn't anywhere near the hospital. Lenore isn't near the hospital. So there's no reason other than you had some involvement in these shootings for your phone to be on that tower. And that's what I'm explaining to the DA, along with some other stuff.
But what I would like, say, whatever happened over there, whatever went down, explain how it went down and what happened. If it's something that we can explain, it's gonna make sense to us and the DA. Now's the time to be getting on that. Because you don't get on that train now and ride it on out, it's gonna hit you. It's gonna run you over. And we do this all the time, and we do it for a living. And circumstantially or whatever, we'll make the case. And like I said, now's the time to be telling your story, your side of the story. So I can say Aleriq has been saying this since day one. This truth, the truth, not 6 months from now trying to gather something that makes sense or trying to make halfway sense. And then when they ask the question, did you tell the police this in the beginning? You're like, no, I didn't. Well, why'd you lie to them in the first place? Don't leave this room with that on your mind or your conscience, because it's gonna, it make you look bad in the end. So
You're right, but at the same time, it's people, you feel me?
what you mean?
Like,
What you mean people gonna do
y'all
it?
gonna protect my mama?
Yeah.
How?
Whichever way we can.
Y'all gonna protect my little girl and my baby mama?
We'll take whatever measures we need to take to protect your family. I'll give you my word on that.
But I'll tell you, I ain't do that, but it's gonna be.
There's a difference. There's a difference. On Foxley, nobody got hurt. Some rounds got popped off, the house got hit, nobody got hurt. And there's a difference between going to Lenore with the intention of killing an innocent bystander, which would be first-degree murder.
The way I look at it, though,
As a mistaken
and it's
identity.
Me, from an investigator standpoint, you go to Lenore, where Dion is possibly at, and he's armed. He's gonna kill somebody on that, same night, hours before this, to confront verbally or whatever. And if it goes bad, that's different than going to shoot somebody, what I'm saying, intentionally, So I'm not saying that happened. I'm not saying, whichever way it happened, but now's the time to tell your story. Because on the sake of the state side, it looks better. Dion ain't here telling us what happened. You know what I'm saying? So I would jump ahead of it and say, hey, his dumbass did this and killed Shartavis. Who's to say he wouldn't try to kill you? Huh?
They are.
Right. His cousin already, did that shit. I mean, we know Chad and all them and Dion. But, like I said, now's the time. Don't go back over there on that jail on the hold and then wake up tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning with a surprise. You don't want that. I will be playing for my life like this shithead did this. You didn't do this. Dion is responsible for Shartavis, and he's responsible for his mom. How it went down out there, I will be telling the story on how it went down and get it out there so I have peace of mind. If not, your kids are very young. You ain't seen their first birthday yet. So, in order for you to be in their life and then give us a little simple possession stuff and push on, I'll be telling the story on how it happened. Because you get that right, right now. You get a chance to do that. Later on, you won't get a chance to say, hey, I really want to tell you what happened out there. It's kind of too late because, people believe what's on paper. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get that far without, putting your truth out there. We got to make that call to the DA after we talk to you and explain things and put everything in his lap. We're missing a piece right now from you, the key piece, in my opinion. I don't want nobody else talking for me, And that's what happens a lot of times. These young guys don't realize, man, you get to tell your own story. You get to write it out, write the end at the end of it. But it's gonna be on you. As you know, CJC is not a fun place to be. And spring, summer, fall, and winter. You got kids' birthdays, gonna be coming up and everything else, man. And you ain't even 21 yet. You ain't even been able to legally buy your first drink. Don't. Life's too short, man, for that. Too short. And I'm not trying to put this on blast and just put it out there like that and stuff. We don't operate like that, But we need to know what story to tell the DA from you. Me wasn't there, ain't gonna fly. I can tell you right now. And he's gonna give us some instructions on what to do based on, cooperation or inaccuracies from your side, so it's completely on you. So what would you like us to tell the DA?
So, we're going to see why investigators are so reluctant to give a suspect too much information. The suspect will take the facts that are laid on the table and morph their story to make it make more sense. In this case, the investigators have thus far explained the timeline to Aleriq, that his phone is at both shootings right at the time they occurred. So Aleriq backs off his stance that he wasn't there and comes up with something that makes a little bit more sense, at least in his world.
All right. First off, to the mama gonna be mad.
Okay.
Because I was around him after he did it.
Okay. What happened?
Alright. I got up with him. It was him and he didn't know that I know. You feel me? So he told me himself, right? But I ain't had no gun with me. So I ain't touch him. I couldn't do nothing with him. Me, him, and this other dude, somebody named Dre or something like that, was with the young.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't think his name Dre. Light skin. They call him Dre, but I think his name Cal on Facebook.
Okay.
When was this?
The same night.
Same night?
They got into it, things went wrong. We all split up from there.
From where?
We all split up.
On Walnut Street?
Yeah. Somebody shot at us on about Fox Lee.
Okay. Like, were you at?
No, I'm saying I wasn't never there on Walnut, but I ended up getting up with Dion and them after that when I had got up.
Over at Dion's house on Foxley?
Nah, started from by Tinker Hill.
Okay.
So after that, when we went over there, soon as we get over there, we got shot at. Boom. Leave from over there. When we went to his mama crib, I ended up finding out it was him. I started going off on them, woo, woo, woo. Then after that, I dropped them out, but then I ended up leaving. But the only person I could see doing it is the one dude, Dre, 40.
I understand you don't want to put yourself there.
I was there though.
When did the mom got shot?
No, I went there when she got shot, but I was there right around that time though. And I ain't gonna tell you the honest truth, I was around that time. I don't know what exactly took place and transpired right there, but that's what, you feel me?
But I mean, we know when the shooting happened.
I know you know
We
what
know when
happened,
the shooting
but I'm
happened,
saying,
and we know when your phone was over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
You can't say I wasn't
That's what I'm
there
saying.
when it happened. When
I'm
the
saying
shooting
I didn't see it happen.
Okay.
I didn't.
But you say you weren't there.
I'm saying I was over there, but I didn't see the shooting happen, sir.
How'd you get over to Walnut?
Walnut, I wasn't in Walnut.
I mean, not Walnut, Lenore.
I was with Dion.
In what car?
That white Buick.
The white Buick?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, so we've got that white Buick leaving the area down Old Hickory right after the shooting on Foxley.
Say that again.
Right after Foxley,
Yeah.
Renika's house got shot up
Yeah.
where Dion was staying.
Yeah.
That house
Dion was with me.
he was with you
Yeah.
on Foxley.
Yeah.
And who shot on Foxley?
I don't know who it was.
Somebody just drove by and shot at you?
Somebody was already out there.
Now, Aleriq is no fool. This is honestly a genius move on his part. He is now saying, yeah, I was at both locations. And not only was he at both locations, he says that Dion was with him. Then he tops it off by saying someone took a shot at Dion while he was present. He pretty much covered all the evidence that they have laid out in front of him. Unfortunately for Aleriq, the investigators know much more than they are sharing right now.
He was gonna go in the house.
Okay, well, once again, we know a lot of information. We got eyewitnesses from Foxley that described what happened, and they described that Buick as leaving
Yeah.
immediately after the shooting. They don't make
I did
mention.
leave.
They don't make mention of anybody else out there shooting but the people that were in that white Buick.
Dion was with me. It was me, Dion, and 40.
Okay, so where did y'all go after that?
We was finna go to his mom's house.
Dion's mom's house.
Yeah.
You went straight there? How'd you get there?
I drove on over there.
Like, what route did you take? You remember?
Right by the hospital with, I don't know. Went down Hollywood.
Down Hollywood?
Yep.
Through downtown?
Oh, here in Hollywood, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right here to Hollywood.
Made a left in Hollywood.
Yep.
Go south.
We went to Holland from Hollywood. Like by the hospital with.
Okay, over by Arlington, like that way? Or Forest?
Down the airways.
No.
You go down the airways. Okay.
So, what happened when you got over to his mom's house?
It really was an argument.
Between?
All three of us.
About what?
What really had happened.
What did he say happened?
He was saying that what's the name tried to rob him.
Should I tell you?
Yeah. But I knew he was lying because after that when he said where I was at, that's when I knew that he had stayed there too. That really was Shartavia's house too, basically. On Walnut.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
See, both of them didn't know the relationship that I had with both of them.
Right.
Because I never was around them. I didn't know they had the same baby mama. All the time.
So you're saying you were on Lenore when the shooting happened?
Like I was leaving, I left probably right before it happened. I left before it happened.
Come on now. We just talked about that. We just got you talking about it.
I'm saying
You said you were there, but you didn't see it. As you told me.
I left before it happened. I heard the shots
said-
too. I heard the shots.
You said you
I
were
went
there.
off the street yet. I didn't see it. I wasn't off the street yet though.
So you, Dion, and Dre
Yeah,
go back to Dion's mom's house on Lenore Street.
yeah. Dion was finna stay over there.
Dion was gonna stay over there. And you dropped Dre off?
I dropped both of them. Both of them.
Right, but Dion
cousins.
and Dre are cousins.
Yeah,
40.
yeah.
And then as you're leaving, the shots go off.
Yeah.
Where'd you go before you after you left Lenore? I'm sorry.
I stopped at my mama's house. You said after?
After.
After I went to I went to my mama's house.
All right, I have a question for you. Going back to your phone records.
when you're on Foxley, right? You remember calling Ranky?
Yeah, I was on the phone with him. You know, we all cool. He
Right.
cool too with Dion.
So you're with Dion's in the car with you, right?
Yeah.
And you call Ranky.
Yeah.
What are y'all talking about?
What happened? With Dion, what's her name?
With Dion and Trinity over there?
Yeah.
So why does Ranky turn around and immediately call Dion?
Cause I got on the phone with him.
But Dion's in the car with you.
That's when I pulled out from. When I pulled out from what's her name?
I'm talking on Foxley.
I called Ranky. We had got shot at.
Right.
That's when the shots went out. I was on the phone with him.
But why would Ranky call Dion?
I don't know. I didn't know he called him. I didn't know he didn't ever get off the phone.
You call Ranky. Ranky, as soon as y'all hang up, Ranky tries to call Dion's phone, which Dion doesn't have. And then after the shots get fired, Ranky calls you back. Like I feel like you,
I was on the phone with him the whole time though.
No.
not according to your phone records. Because we're looking for Ranky right now too. Ranky's got warrants. And when we talk to Ranky, you know, Ranky's got no interest in this case. He wasn't out there. And I got Ranky's phone number. I got his records just like I got yours. But I definitely know that you call Ranky, and then that call ends, and Ranky immediately calls Dion. If you're in the car with Dion, why wouldn't he just be like, "Hey, you with Dion? Let me holler at him," and then you just hand him the phone?
I don't know.
I don't know either. See, that's the kind of stuff that's hard to explain to a DA. If you're with Dion, why the phone triangle? Why? It's almost like you're calling Ranky to see if he knows where Dion is.
Nah.
I mean, that's the way it looks on the phone records. But it doesn't make any sense if you're with Dion Walker for you to call Ranky, and then for Ranky to call Dion, not be able to get a hold of him, and then call you back.
Sitting this close together. You know.
I mean, you're in a car with him, right? The same car that's leaving Foxley immediately after the shooting. Given what the eyewitness told us on Foxley, that white Buick pulls up, starts blasting, and then drives off.
Nah. I know thoughts coming out my car.
I'm just saying. Shooter got out of the car, pops some rounds off, and Buick starts leaving. We can track that Buick through the entire city of Jackson, through the route you took. Kind of circle around Midtown, you come down Hollywood, circle around Midtown, end up going through downtown, over to Lenore Street. We've got your white car pulling on Lenore Street 2 minutes before the shots get fired. Shots get fired, and that white car is screaming out of there. Then you go back to your mom's house, then you go to the hospital. That's what we know. And that's the story we're going to tell the DA. I feel like you're telling us part of the truth.
Yeah. And I understand.
It's, you know.
I went to the shooter though.
Okay. Who was? Truth gonna come out, man, like you said. And if somebody else was a shooter, that's what I would.
That's exactly what I would be saying.
But when the truth comes out, it's gonna be just like I said, like a train. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna, because these little pieces that we can disprove, you know, we're gonna disprove it and we're gonna move on. And like I said, man, it's not gonna be good. You know your mom's white car, white Buick.
Yeah, it was messed up though.
Yeah. Still, man, I mean, there's a lot of pieces of this thing that
Well, actually, she had already sold it, but
you were driving, regardless.
yeah.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying, man? You see where I'm coming from? Okay. We gotta get ahead of this thing, man. And, you know, be honest. You know, we're almost there. We started out where you hadn't been on Foxley or Lenore to, you know, you were at both locations. You know, the truth is the only thing that can help you in this situation. It's incomplete right now. We gotta.
Yeah, but death ain't gonna help no more either, because
I understand.
once the truth come out, somebody gonna do something to my people. You feel me?
No.
I know it.
Why would they do something to your people?
Because that's how people is.
People talk, good game. They can do Facebook stuff. That's all day long. That's 90% of the threats, the misdemeanor stuff they have up there. These threats and stuff, you know.
Are you thinking like that because that's what you were feeling the night that Shartavis got killed?
Think like what?
That, you know, they did something to me, so I'm gonna go do something to them.
No,
That thought went in your mind?
I ain't do it.
Or was it just to go over to get clarification on what happened? And did he turn on you, you know? You know, you said they knew each other, you know. You ain't tried to kill him before, did he? So for some reason this night, something clicked in him and he shot him. You know,
Wait, who ain't tried to kill her before?
Dion he ain't tried to kill Shartavis before, did he?
I mean, I never seen them kill each other though.
Right. But still, what you saying? You're afraid for your life, your people, or whatever. Chad Harden already approached you. You know what I'm saying about the
I know, but at the same time, I was in front of police too.
Yeah.
I was at the doors of the club. He walked up on me in the room.
My thing is this, man, and I'll leave you with this. Because like I said, I'm not going to do all the yelling and screaming like that because I don't think that benefits anything. It's going to come out. It's about how you want it to come out. You let us know how you want this to come out. It's going to come out. It's going to go, you know, in front of the DA. It's going to get out, you know. How do you want it to get out? You know, one or the other. It's what it is. And like I said, when you roll out all the evidence and stuff, I mean, you don't have to say a word, you know, it's going to speak for itself, you know, but the why is important to you and your future. The why is, you know, we know what happened, you know, but why it happened, you know, how it happened. So you get to tell that part of the story right now. So you have an advantage, really, because you get to do that. Other people don't, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes with their case, it may be, you know, video or whatever that, you know, show things happen, whichever way it happened. In this case, we don't have it on video. You know, you get to tell the why.
And if it was a matter of just, you know, shooting at houses and somebody just happened to get hit, that's
You know, it was Dion, you know,
that's explainable, but
being in the rage that he was in that night with, you know, how he was acting. And, you know, I don't know if he was on something or what, you know what I'm saying? But
so if there's a mysterious other shooter on Lenore Street, I mean, your car coming and going are the only people that leave the street. I mean, that your car is the only car that comes and goes before the police show up a minute later.
let me ask you this, did he pull a gun on you that night? Did Dion pull a gun on you that night? Yes or no?
I mean, I seen a gun.
Okay. Did he threaten you or get into an argument with you or anything that night?
Yeah.
Okay. That's stuff we need to know, man. We're going over here to talk to you, a complete stranger, over here, and tell them about your case here, and tell them about stuff that can determine the rest of your life. You know. Let me know what happened. I'm not here against you. I didn't know you before today. You know, you're a man just like I am. I respect you just like I respect him or anybody else. You got kids. You got girlfriend. You got mom out here. You got the same family and stuff that we had. So
I know they don't fuck because I ain't getting out of jail no time soon. All this bullcrap I got going on. This right here, don't let me know that.
I don't. But like I said, you get to fix this. At least you can fix one problem in your life right now that you're looking at, as far as the future. You know, if you don't want to do it for you, do it for your kids. You know, you got to. It's gonna come a point in time in your life, and I think it's right now that you're gonna have to separate, yourself from what side you want to be on. If you want to be on this side, you be on the other side. You know, the other side is I'm out here a free man with my kids. Taking care of them, being in their lives and stuff. But this side, you locked up, chained up like a dog, man. And I'm not calling you a dog, you know what I'm saying? You know, people chain up dogs and animals and stuff, you know? There's no way for a man to live or to be treated, you know? But it's the process right now. It's kind of where we are.
You got to put yourself in a position to be in your kid's life at some point. And that starts with the truth. Because, like I said, there's a big difference between cold-blooded first-degree murder and got into an altercation with somebody at their mama's house. Some shots got fired. Somebody accidentally got hit. You know, there's a big difference in those two things.
After he killed somebody,
Right.
it's a big difference. After he shot and killed somebody, cold-blooded. Don't put yourself in the same light as him. Separate yourself from him. The way he acted, the way he behaved, the way he did, the way he's going to go down. Don't put yourself in the same category. Now's the time to separate yourself. Put it on the table now, you know.
And we're going to find Dion eventually. I mean, U.S. Marshals are tracking him. We get him pinged in Nashville and Cincinnati. I mean, you're 100% right about that. It's just a matter of them putting their hands on him, and they're really good at what they do. And they're going to find him eventually, and we're bringing him in here. We're going to talk to him just like we're talking to you. And
if I'm just hypothetically, what if they bring Dion in here and Dion says, well, you know, if I'll let y'all know what happened about my mom, in exchange with some consideration be for what I did over here on this other one, it probably would be. Because, you know, you get two for, you know what I'm saying, you get 2 for 1. So, what
He
is,
did that, though.
yeah. I know
He
that.
did that to his mama.
You say he did it? How?
Cause he went hard.
You saw him shot? Shoot.
Yeah.
What happened?
Really tried to shoot me. I started running.
You returned fire?
No, I ain't had a gun.
Who had the gun?
He did. There was only one gun.
on the North Street?
Yeah.
What kind of gun was it?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
The same gun you used to kill Chartavius?
What kind of gun was it?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm just asking you. Do you know?
See, I don't know. Now, they got a lot of guns, so.
So was Dion the one shooting over at Burkina's house?
His girl,
So, what was happening when you started shooting? What were you talking about?
he was tripping.
How'd the conversation go?
You need to chill out, you hot.
Who said that?
Me, you need to chill out, you hot. 40 is like, I don't even know why this nigga there. Then I was like, y'all on some bullshit, burning my car up. Then you already did this fuck shit. Boom. He was like, nigga, what you was gonna tell on me? I was like, nah, shit, it ain't me. He was like, she must gonna tell on me. Then boom, up. Shit, we wasn't in the car then. We was standing outside. Boom. I ran towards the house.
So was Dion not with you during that time?
Huh?
I need to know the whole truth on this. Was it when the Foxleys did not? Nobody got hit on Foxley. I ain't worried about that. He was not with you during that time, from Foxley till one time you got over on Lenore Street. Am I correct? Okay. So that makes sense. You know, these phone records and stuff, it's plain black and white. Either you're there or you're not there. So we need to establish what's true and what's not true.
Nah, they was posted up. They was posted up at the end of the street. Down from his mom's house.
Who was?
Dion and his cousin. Yeah, so when I pulled up, shit, I hopped out. I'm like, we were talking for a minute. You know, I bagged up. Like, cause they got 2 driveways. And after that, that's when we hit them words. Shit, he shot at me. But I was running towards, so he's shooting at the house, basically. Shit, I pulled off.
You running where?
I was running towards, I hopped on this side of the porch, boom, and ran towards my car. But I hop on the porch to run. He's still shooting at me as I'm running on his porch. I jumped in the car, pulled out. I don't know what they
Did
did.
he shoot your car?
No, that's before I got in the car. It went on, a lot of shots went off.
About how many shots?
I don't even know if it was 15.
Where was Dion standing when he was shooting?
Hold on. Alright, let me see. The house. Alright, look, it's us in front of the house.
Like on the porch or in the yard?
Like back on the porch.
Okay.
Well, boom. I hopped up, boom, ran, crossed the thing, and then after that, while I'm running, he's shooting. Shit,
Still at you.
yeah, I thought he upped on me, but I just know he was shooting. I don't know how I ain't get hit or what. Then after that, I heard his mom was dead. But I was like, what the fuck?
You heard like after you left or right there on the.
No, I heard some hours after that,
Okay.
but I ain't understand it. I didn't at all.
Let me ask you this, and nobody got hit. Were you shooting on Foxley?
Nah, that wasn't me.
Was there somebody with you? Like I said, man, when you got eyewitnesses out here saying this car pulls up and people shoot out of it, I mean, that's one thing, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
So you were shooting on Foxley?
yeah.
Okay. Well, here's
I did shoot on Foxley, but
why were you shooting on Foxley?
because I was mad.
You were mad at Dion
Yeah,
for killing Sharp Davis.
yeah.
And that's understandable. I get that.
But I was mad, but I messed with both of them though. But you
Right.
know,
But see, here's the problem we run into. Is that the shell casings on both scenes came from the same gun.
yeah, and I got them bullets from him.
No,
Same gun.
same gun, not same
No,
bullet.
I'm saying-
Listen.
Now I'm telling you though, the bullets that I did have, them wasn't my gun. It was one of their guns.
Right.
I got that gun from him.
What I'm saying is that you're shooting on Foxley
Mad.
with that
Upset.
9mm mag.
The last thing you're
He
gonna do
didn't
is
know
go
that
over
though when I got over there. He
Right.
didn't
the
know that.
last thing you're gonna do is go over there on Lenore and give him the gun that you just shooting at his house with.
It wasn't none in there.
What you mean?
It wasn't none in there.
Nothing what?
There wasn't no bullets in there.
Well, I don't think you
At the
understand.
time, I'm saying when I got over there, there wasn't no bullets in there.
Well, I think there were.
It had to be.
Because, listen to what I'm saying. Picked up shell casings on Foxley, right? There's a very, very intelligent computer system we put those casings into. And it can tell us exactly what gun they came out of if we can.
Kind of like a fingerprint.
It's a fingerprint for the gun. So the same shell casings that are on Foxley, where you're over there popping rounds off at his girlfriend's house, are the same shell casings on Lenore Street where his mama got
That's
killed.
why we're asking you what happened on Lenore. What happened over there, man?
If you didn't mean to shoot her, if you were trying to shoot at him in a heated argument and hit her by accident,
And we know he's
we
armed.
need to know that.
We know he's armed.
Because you went looking for a fight and you found one on Lenore. You tried to find one on Foxley with nobody home, so you cranked some rounds off at that house out of anger over your friend, which is understandable. But then you took that same gun over Lenore Street to try to confront Dion about killing your friend. Y'all get into it at the front door, and your gun starts popping rounds off that ultimately kill his mother.
Does that make you a bad person? No, it don't. It doesn't. Does it make Dion a shitty person? Yes, it does. Because he created this shit.
He took the heat that he created when he killed Chartavis to his mom's house.
I mean, you know what comes
And
with
she
that,
was
you know?
She was a victim of
Chartavis-
his stupidity.
He did not.
Not yours,
Chartavis
his.
did not deserve to die. And that's what this goes back to. It's unfortunate that his mom passed away from this, but it's kind of like instant karma, you know, that kind of went back to him for causing this on Walnut. So I understand your frustration. I understand how emotions would be that night. A reasonable person that sits across from you is going to understand that it's not first degree murder. It's not. You know, it's just the facts. You know, again, when I told you a minute ago, don't put yourself in the same category as him, because we don't look at you like that at all. From the beginning, you know, we don't. You know, it's a different category that you're in, and you'll be treated as such. You know, he brought this on himself. And it's not always I say stuff like that, but he did. And like I said, it's up to you. You know how you want to go forward with this.
The police now have got their confession. Kind of. They need to make sure that this does not turn into a self-defense case at a later stage once Aleriq is given an attorney. They bring in a third detective, someone who can freely build rapport. We'll watch how this goes right after this last commercial break.
Hey, you good? You straight? You done with your food? You smoke?
Yeah.
You want square? Hey, somebody bring me a cigarette?
You know, could I just be able to see my daughter before?
Well, that's what I'm here to talk to you about.
I'm not.
We're not allowed to have visitors in here, okay? But we can work on trying to set something up at the jail, okay? We're just not allowed to have visitors over here, okay? My name's Chestnut, and I work with these guys. Been in there talking to you, and I've been in there monitoring your interview, okay? I know you're in a tight spot, and I know this is a lot to take in one night, okay? Nobody in here is mad at you or anything like that, given the circumstances. Yeah, that's what I brought in here for, was smash you. You know, you and Shartavis was pretty tight. You know, nobody faults you for what happened. You know, I think if you could go back and do it all over again, you'd probably make different choices that night. Good thing is, on Foxley, nobody got hurt.
Yeah, but there's a woman dead.
I understand. There is a woman dead. But why did somebody come to her house?
Because of him.
Because of him. Did you leave your house that night saying, I'm gonna go kill somebody no matter who it is?
No.
The only person you had beef with was who?
Big John.
Okay. It's unfortunate what happened to her. It's sad what happened to her. Okay. All of us have things in life we would do differently. I think this is one thing you would do differently. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, because, like, my daddy and people, like, always look at me, they want me to do a bit better because I'm the grandson, where my uncle just got a little boy, but other than that, I ain't just had no father, so none of that. So he was my heart, though. I ain't gonna lie, he was like my heart, I swear.
It was what?
Like my heart.
Your heart.
I look at my daughter, my mama, all of them. He was best for me, and I hated. I did it. Okay, I hated it. It happened how it happened because he wouldn't wanted this to happen.
I understand. Well, what's been going on with you since that night? I'm watching this video, you just walking around popping off rounds at the Waffle House. I mean, what's
That's
going
because some girls was fighting my baby mama. Them.
Get some girls to fight, man, but
I
this
just
shit's crazy.
did to clear the crowd. I did. That's the
Okay.
only reason I did to clear the crowd.
Okay. But you can see when somebody looks at that video, you just look crazy out there. Alright? I'm just asking, have you been having problems with that shit since this night?
Yeah, I have. There's a lot of people been trying to get me.
I understand. Okay. Have you ever left town, or have you been here the whole time?
Been here.
Where you been staying?
My baby mama.
Okay.
Yeah.
People know where you're staying at, right? Does anybody come and try to fuck with you? I know you said
Not yet.
Chad ran his head at the club, but
Not yet.
okay. All right.
But I ain't no telling what they gonna do now.
Okay. Your mom's still over on Honeysuckle.
Yeah.
Do people know that the car you used that night was your mama's car?
No.
Okay. So there ain't no reason for him to fuck with that car or nothing like that.
Well, that
We'll be
car really
targeting
wasn't
that
my mama car.
Okay.
It was in the process. We had sold it.
Okay. But
I
it's
still
the,
had.
is it the Buick Lucerne? Is that the one you were in that night?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's that car at now?
I really don't know.
Your mom sold it?
It was already sold. It was already sold.
The other people just hadn't come and got it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just asking, like, if somebody gonna see it parked at your mama's house and fuck with it or something like that. Okay.
But that's not my worry. My worry is when they found out that I really did have something to do with it.
Listen, man, everything can be explained, but
Not retaliation though.
I understand. But the one thing that we've been in here and we've been trying to stress to you is the district attorney looks for a few things, and juries look for a few things. They look for remorse. They look for people admitting to what they've done and taking responsibility for things. Okay, you're a parent. Obviously, that's very important to you, right? What are you more mad at your child about? Doing something bad or lying about it?
Lying.
Exactly. You see what we're saying?
Yes, sir.
These guys that was in here talking to you earlier, I mean, they had enough to charge you. They didn't need to talk to you.
I know.
Okay? When people sit in here and they lie to us, it only makes it matters worse.
There's no peace in the world alignment.
Your daughter busts a window, you're going to be mad for her busting a window, but if she lies about it, you're going to be more pissed off, right?
Yeah, and now I ain't gonna never get to see that.
Well, that's where the remorse and things like that come in. When district attorneys review cases, they look at the circumstances behind the case. They look at what the person's responsibility is afterwards. You know, did you come in here and act a fool, throw some chairs, act stupid? Absolutely not. Did you come in and tell the truth? I think you told the truth on some things, but I don't think you told the truth on everything. Okay, and I know a lot of the things that we're asking you, it's tough to admit to. I understand that. The reason we keep asking is they're important for you. It's not just for the case or anything like that, but it's to give people closure, explain what's going on, and to try to move forward, okay? I'm just gonna ask you point blank. Was Dion on the porch when you were shooting?
Yeah.
And I've been doing this job a long time, okay? Looking at that evidence on that porch, the same evidence that the prosecutors...
I just seen it, but I didn't know how those shell cases went. Like
The shell casings are too close to the house.
yeah, I understand.
When you were shooting, you would have to be up against the house. Okay? These are things that are going to trip you up in the future.
I was on that floor though.
Okay? Was Dion inside the house or outside the house when you were shooting?
Outside.
The way you were standing, the way those rounds went into the house, the gun can only be so far from that window. Okay? There's not room for Dion. This is the window, and I'm shooting right here. All of my casings are going to be right here. That's where your casings are. Okay? If you're back up here, your casings would be back here, and that's not where they are. Okay? I'm not in here trying to give you a hard time. I'm
I
not in here.
understand.
I just don't want something that you're trying to work towards getting screwed up because of a detail. Okay? My gut tells me Dion may have been at that house, but Dion wasn't on that porch. Okay? The physical evidence is things that you can't change and I can't change. Okay? Everything in that photograph is how it was when the police got there. And it is what it is. A lot of it speaks for itself. If you have a version of what happened that differs what physical evidence is, the physical evidence has no reason to lie. It is what it is. This box of cigarettes laying on the table ain't got shit to do with me. It ain't got shit to do with you. It's on the table. Okay? You can't manipulate those things to fit a story.
Alright.
And again, I'm not trying to argue with you.
I know you're not. I know I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not even gonna
Right.
give you a hard time.
There's no reason to.
Can you tell them come here? I wanna tell all y'all. I want y'all. I wanna tell them too.
Okay. Hey, Nick Rose, y'all come in here a minute. Here you go. Here, we should get rid of that. Whatever happened out there happened. Okay. The best thing to do is get out in front of it, because you've taken a big step in admitting you're the one out there shooting. Okay. But I don't want you to get tripped up on some silly little detail, because that's the things people want to try to pick apart. Okay, yeah, he admitted to shooting, but he's not being 100% truthful, right? And I don't want something like that to screw you up in the future. These things make a big difference in the process moving forward. It makes a big process in how a district attorney views you, how a judge views you, and more importantly, how a jury views you, okay?
What's going on?
Hey, I'm gonna crack this door because it's slow.
I did shoot in that window.
Okay.
Did you know who you were shooting at?
Yeah.
No,
Was Dion in
he wasn't in the house though.
so you just went to the house?
He was there. We had some words, and I shot in the window, and I
Shot
ran.
through the. You had words through the door.
Nah,
Doors open.
both outside.
Back up. You come to the house and tell us what happens when you come to the
I
house.
come to the house, I seen him. I was like, "What's up? What you want?" I kind of played him to the left. See, he'll tell me. When he was telling me, I know he was lying, so I started shooting in the house.
Where was he when he shot?
He started running when I put out the gun.
So you pull out the gun, he starts running, and you just start dumping rounds into the window?
Yeah, he started running. I just started shooting in the house. And then,
So he runs one way.
yeah, he jumped out the porch. And
So you're not shooting in his direction, you're shooting at the house.
That's because he ran. Yeah, I didn't know if he went in there or not.
Okay. Just anger, just everything, emotion and stuff.
Yeah,
Imagine.
When you were shooting, could you see somebody in the house?
no sir.
Why couldn't you see somebody in the house?
Because I didn't know what was on the other side of that.
Why couldn't you see?
It was no door was open. The windows. It was dark, completely dark in the whole house.
Were there blinds?
Yes sir.
Could you see through the blinds?
No sir.
So you didn't know somebody's on the other side of that window?
No sir. And I did have no teasers or hurt nobody really.
What about Foxley? Where were you? Were you in the yard? Did you just shoot at the house? Did you shoot from the street? Where were you out there?
Shot from the street.
What were you aiming at on that?
I just shot.
Did you know Dion was there or wasn't there? Or
No, I didn't know at that time.
did you see anybody?
No sir.
In the end, Aleriq Smith would receive life without parole for his killing of Charlene Albright. I think the most devastating part of this case is when the detective explained where the shell casings were landed, proving that Aleriq was just randomly firing into the home, not knowing who was behind the blinds. The mother of 6 would not have even known what was coming, and what a terrible sight for her children, who almost assuredly stumbled upon her as they awoke from the violence. Now, many people have donated to my Buy Me a Coffee link or even my Cash App, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. But a special shout out to this gentleman who has been taking special care of me and my wife by donating almost every single video. Thank you. I'll keep your name private, NM. I appreciate all the new viewers and my first day crime catchers. We'll see you on the next episode of They Caught Me. Till next time.